So where do you go from here? Now that you have successfully completed CIS130, and congratulations to everybody. I really think it's it's a week, nearly a week, on from the end of the course. But if I extrapolate out with how everybody's doing, I think everybody's going to be just fine. So I know I have mentioned this in sessions 3 and 4 a ton of times, but honest to buttons, you guys have en masse done a phenomenal job of keeping up with the content. So now that I've given you the accolade for keeping up with this content, why on earth am I about to tell you? Here's a ton more. And what I'll tell you is Access is a fantastic starting database. You can take the concepts that we have done here in Access. You can take most of everything as a one-to-one that you have done with Cengage, and you can go to another database and be capable. You can take the things that I've provided you here in Eagle and take that as strategies for how to interact with databases in the future, and you can be successful with that. But what I'll tell you is it's just a start, because all of these things are just a start, frankly. So now that you've started, what can you do with it from here? The good news is, as a shameless shill, I can tell you that here at RVC, we've got a couple of classes that I think, if you have identified that databases are going to be a necessity for your future, for your careers, that these are courses that are going to pay big dividends for you. So, number one, I would suggest we have a database class. It is CIS254. It's called Databases. Won't be that hard to find. With that database course, we do not use Access as our database. We use Microsoft SQL, which is different, but it's not colossally different. So the good news there is you'll get to see, because it's focusing on databases in general as opposed to just Access here. You'll really get to expand back and look at the nature of data. You'll get to look at the nature of queries a lot closer. In module, I almost did the chapter thing again, but in module 9, you had just the littlest of exposure to what is called an outer join and an inner join, which is how we make really complex database operations, database queries work. You'll spend a ton more time with those, and you will make really complex database operations in 254. It really is the big, the big sibling step up to this course, the 130. So CIS 254, absolutely positively think about taking. While we're looking at those peripheral areas, not everybody is going to be a database engineer. Not everybody is going to be involved in the design of a database. But what I can tell you that everybody needs more of, because this is the core of not the complaint, let's call it the feedback, complaint, of our community partners, is there's a value out there in design. Having a form is one thing, but having a bad form is almost as bad as not having one at all, right? Because if the user can't visually go top to bottom, left to right, if the user cannot easily see what the purpose of the form is, what the purpose of the data is, if we have not led them to correct entry of data by starting off with the easiest data and moving down towards the hardest data, we're losing them. So we actually have 2 classes here at Rock Valley that focus in on those design aspects and the aspects of the data itself. It just so happens I do not teach the databases course. That is probably Chuck Conkle, who is one of our wonderful full-time instructors. And if not, it's Jenny Kunkel, not the same name. One is an O, one is a U. And she does a really fantastic job. She's one of our adjuncts. We are still in the process of flipping classes around. I do teach. It's called CIS170 Logic and Design. We actually talk about the nature of data. We talk about, the nature of design for user interactions, things of that nature. So that one is more looking at kind of a holistic picture of what we do with data and how we interact with users. The next one I would suggest, again, this is me being this is not really, but it just so happens I teach the course. I genuinely believe that everybody benefits from a course in design, and we have a web design course. The fastest way, it's Web 101 in Introduction to Programming for the Internet. The fastest way to see what your design, what your code looks like, and how that's going to be perceived by an end user, the fastest way we have is web design. You will literally, by the end of an 8-week course, we have 2 web design courses. I will mention this really briefly here, Web 101 and Web 102. We offer Web 101 in spring, in summer, and in fall. We only offer Web 102 in fall, but it's as 8-week courses. So in the fall and the spring, Web 101 is offered the first 8 weeks, and in the fall, Web 102 is offered the second 8 weeks. So they dovetail together, but you've got a lot of time in between here and there. And honestly, the Web 101 that runs over the summer is one of our few summer classes, and that gives you an outstanding opportunity to work on, getting all your credits year round so that you can graduate faster with less stress, because if you can take a few of your courses, it is freezing down here. If you can take a few of your courses and spread them out, it reduces the overall burden that you have to deal with work and everything else at the same time. Anyway, design. In Web 101, so we will literally look at these colors mean things to users. This is how to use it. These words have meanings to users. These are how to use them. This is how we put together a web page. This is how we put together a form. This is how we put together an app front end that users will use. And we, the fastest, most hand-to-mouth way to be able to do that is with HTML and CSS. This is, it's my baby of a course, but I know everybody benefits from more design, and a great place to get design is there. I will mention 2 other things here. Number 1, any of us as instructors can help you out with some of that counseling and advising. Please do not try to graduate, or please do not try to get a certificate without talking to one of us first. Talk to me, talk to Stephanie Washer here in CIS. We have a better idea of what will successfully get you through than does online services. Online services is great, but every instructor works with a host of students every year who said things like, I was supposed to graduate in May, but I'm missing this course because online services missed it. Yeah, that's the problem with online services. I have a count. In 2020, I worked with 17 students who either missed a course or missed a deadline for graduation, so whether or not it was winter graduation or spring graduation or certificate completion stuff too. But talk to us. We know when courses are offered. We know how long it takes for courses to be re-offered. There are certain courses that only come around once every couple of years. This course, as a matter of fact, hasn't run in, I think this is true, I've been here for 6 years. This course has never run in that 6 years I've been here. So we know more than online services, and we can also help you with resources for, are you really on track to be able to get a job with this? Are you really on track to do what you want to do, online services really isn't built for that. We also have a tremendous, the counseling and advising department. They are fantastic. In CIS, we actually have one. We're in between having a specific advisor right this moment, I believe, because everybody just got upgrades, which is great for them. So that'll come back real shortly. You can contact any of us, and we will get you in contact with who you need. But please, please, please talk to somebody other than online services, before you graduate, because that will help you calibrate with the classes that you need to be successful, and that can also help you calibrate with how to apply these to what you want for career success moving forward. So don't forget to reach out on that, because all of us are literally at home waiting. So good luck, but really congrats, you guys did great.